Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at all of the LEGO Harry Potter minifigures released during the years 2019. There were not as many as 2018 and there will not be as many as there will be in 2020, simply because there was no collectible minifigure series during this year. So that was a little bit unfortunate, but we still get a great selection of characters, and most importantly we get a whole ton of characters that we've never seen in LEGO before. So without further ado, let's start off taking a look at all the students, the staff, the other members of the magical community, and then the animals for the wave. So first we're going to have Harry Potter, and we got 3 identical versions of this character this year. The Harry Potter with the mid-legs in his dark blue jacket. That piece was created specifically for him, so I think it's really cool. He also has the exact same hairpiece as the original Harry Potters, so that's pretty notable. This is from year 3. And then we also got a bunch of other Harry Potter variants this year, but none of them were identical. We had a generic student one, and we had him in the knitted sweatshirt from Mrs. Weasley. These both use the original face print, hair, and short legs from years 1 and 2. Then we have 3 more Harry Potters. These are from years 4, and they do have a brand new hairpiece. We have Harry Potter in his robes when he fought the Hungarian Horntail. We have Harry in his robes from the maze, and then we have Harry in his dress robes from the Yule Ball. So those characters also have mid-legs. They're plain black, and they have the new Harry Potter headpiece. There's quite a lot of Harry Potters for this wave, substantially more than 5 more actually than Hermione and Ron. So it's pretty interesting, although it's a tiny bit disappointing to get 3 identical minifigures, but I understand why they did that. So let's move all these guys to the back and then take a look at the next set of minifigures. Up next, we're going to be taking a look at Ron and Hermione. The first 2 variants are going to be the Yule Ball variants. They have mid-legs in Ron's case, and Hermione's case, a 2x2 tall brick and then a flat 2x2 brick to get the dress look. You'll see a lot of that next year as well. Then we have 2 variants of them in casual clothes from the Hagrid's Hut set. Hermione notably has her time turner printed right there. And then we have 2 final variants from the advent calendars, Ron in his sweatshirt and Hermione in just a generalized scarf. And there were only 3 versions of each of these characters this year. Kind of small, kind of disappointing, nowhere near as many as Harry Potter, but they were all exclusive variants. And, you know, I'm very happy to have all of them here. So let's move these to the back and take a look at Fleur, Crumb, and Cedric. We have 3 variants of Fleur Delacour this year. We have her in her Hungarian Horntail fighting clothes. We have her in her Yule Ball version of dress and everything. Then we have her in her arrival clothes, and we also got her sister Gabrielle in her arrival clothes. So I figure we can add her in right now because she doesn't really fit into any other category because she's not a student. I mean, I guess I could put her in the magical members of the community, but I think she fits best with her sister right here. We also have 2 versions of Cedric Diggory. We have him in his Hungarian Horntail robes, and then we have him in his Yule Ball dress. And then we have the same with Victor Crumb. We have his Yule Ball robes right here, and then his Hungarian Horntail robes. So they're very similar variants right there, and pretty neat. All these characters are really cool, and most notably, it was the first time we've gotten any of Fleur, Gabrielle, and Cedric in LEGO, besides, of course, the Cedric minifigure we got in the CMF series last year. We did get Crumb in the original Harry Potter wave, but I'm very surprised we never got Fleur before, so it's very good to add her to the collection. All right, next up are going to be the teaching staff this year. We had 2 variants of Albus Dumbledore. We have the identical version to what appeared in the Great Hall set last year from the Advent calendar. Then we have his Yule Ball robes, which are quite nice. We also got 2 variants of Madame Maxine. Now, strangely, she has 2 different colors of hair, black and then dark reddish brown. Don't know why they decided to change it, but we have her arrival clothes and her Yule Ball clothes. So that was pretty interesting, and they complement Dumbledore right there. We also got 2 versions of Hagrid. We got an identical version to his appearance in the Great Hall. Then we got his Yule Ball robe, so he notably did not come in the Yule Ball set. He was wearing this in the arrival of the Beauxbatons carriage, excuse me. Then we have 2 more teaching staff, only 1 version of each. We have Professor Flitwick and Professor McGonagall. Now, Flitwick is a brand new minifigure from the Advent calendar. However, McGonagall is identical to her Great Hall appearance, also from the Advent calendar. So that was a tiny bit disappointing. All right, next up we have some generic magical members of the community, starting with Sirius Black. This is the first time we've gotten Sirius Black in years, and the minifigure looks excellent. A little disappointing he doesn't have arm printing, but he's got a great hairpiece, great facial print, and some really good leg printing. We also have Cornelius Fudge, first time we've ever gotten him in LEGO form. We also have Stan Shunpike and Ernie, I forget his last name, but Ernie from the Night Bus. 2 pretty good characters. A little, I don't know. The printing is great. I would have loved some maybe leg detailing or arm detailing, but I do like the bald head. And these are by no means, special characters. We got them very recently with the last Night Bus, but they're still pretty decent inclusions. All right, next we have the villains. We're going to start off with the most villainous of all. We have Lord Voldemort in his black robes from his rebirth during the graveyard scene. From that same scene, we have Wormtail, and we have a generic Death Eater. And then from the same set that Cornelius Fudge appeared in, the Hagrid's Cottage set, we have the Executioner, who was, in fact, McNair, I believe his name was, who was a Death Eater. We also have a baby Voldemort piece, just like a baby Harry Potter piece you'll see next year. Pretty interesting. I'll, attach that to Voldemort real quick. This came in the same set as Voldemort, and it was the piece that you could put in the cauldron to, play with the rebirth of Voldemort. So that's very, very interesting. All right, and our final section are going to be extra figures. I'm not quite sure what to put with them. We have two Dementors, so I guess could have gone in the villains section. They came in the set that came with one of the versions of Harry and Sirius Black, and it's a pretty good set. I actually got a second one recently. I found it on sale at Wegmans for 50% off, so I figured a couple extra trees and Dementors couldn't hurt. But these guys, you only get two in that set, so I'll just put them right over here. And then we also have three very strange characters. We have the statue from the Graveyard Duel set. We have the Architect of Hogwarts from the Advent Calendar. We have a snowman from the Advent Calendar. They don't really fit in anywhere. They're not, characters. They're just kind of minifigure style builds. I figured I'd include them, but, that's, there's not too much to say about those guys. All right, and here are all the minifigures from 2019's Harry Potter wave all lined up. There are not nearly as many as the last year, although there's substantially more in 2017, considering there are only, like 4 sets for that wave. But I think here we have a remarkable selection. The movies here span pretty much years 3 and 4, and we have, pretty much every main character from those movies. We got all the champions in different attire from the Triwizard Tournament. We have the main staff members that we were either missing or from the Triwizard Tournament, with the exception of Igor Karkaroff. I'm a little disappointed we never got him. Maybe he'll come in a Harry Potter Series 3 if there ever is one. We also got some great background characters. We got some really good villains. We got some great characters to really just fill out the ranks. We got Fleur's sister. We got some Death Eaters. We got some new variants of Harry and Hermione. And really, there weren't too many important characters during year 3 that we haven't already gotten, and year 4 really filled out the ranks here. So I'm very satisfied with the selection of Harry Potter sets. It was a little lackluster when compared to last year's rebirth of the line and next year's continuation of it, but I still think it's a very decent selection. We got some great sets to complement the minifigures. If you guys want to see every Harry Potter sets video, let me know. But without further ado, I think I can move on to the animals of the Harry Potter line. I'll look at all those and then move on to the final verdict. All right, up first for animals, we're going to take a look at the minifigure scale small ones. We have first 2 Hedwigs. These were the only owls we got this year. Very, very basic, very simple. We also got 1 spider from Hagrid's hut. We got 2 chocolate frogs, 1 from Hagrid's hut, and 1 stone frog, from the Graveyard Duel. We also have the shrunken head from the Night Bus. Ooh, excuse me. This was the second time we've gotten that guy in a physical Lego form. The first time we got him, he was just a print. We also had a version of the Sorting Hat from the Harry Potter Build Your Own Adventure. I'm going to set that right on top of the shrunken head. And I do have to apologize to all of you. I made a mistake in my last video. I had 2 of the black and white chess piece minifigures, and those actually should have come in this year from the Advent Calendar's chessboard. I had them last year with all the other microfigures. That was my mistake. I'm sorry. They did come in the 2019 wave, not 2018. So subtract 1 black and 1 white statuette figure from last year and move them up to this year. Now, these were all the small animals. Let's move these back. And we also got a really amazing Patronus stag this year. The thing was a brand new mold. We actually saw it used for a reindeer this year, but it's a translucent blue with sparkles in it. It's so beautiful. I love it. We also got Buckbeak for the first time in a very long time. A really awesome brand new mold with a movable head and the Pegasus wings. And speaking of Pegasus wings, we also got 2 Pegasi from the Bo Baxton's carriage set. And there's that one, and then there's this guy. And they have the Lord of the Rings style piece where you can move the back and rear the horse up on its hind legs. So I thought that was very, very cool. But that's pretty much all the animals we got this year. There's only one more, and that would be the Hungarian Horntail. This monstrosity of a brick-built dragon was incredibly cool. I'm a little disappointed it wasn't a mold like the last time we got the dragon, because its legs look a little funky, and it's a little wonky, but there's some great wings, a really cool molded head, and it's a truly fantastic dragon. But that was all the animals we got this year. It was really light, surprisingly. There were only a couple of large-scale animals, and then, you know, barely, we never got Crookshanks or Scabbers, and we only got 2 versions of Hedwig as opposed to last year and next year where we got so many. But, I mean, it's acceptable. I mean, it was a really light Harry Potter year. I understand that, and I mean, for what we did get, it's pretty good. But now that we've taken a look at all of these characters, let's get them out of the way and move on to the final verdict. Alright, and now that we've taken a look at all the animals, it's time to move on to the final verdict. And I think this was an excellent Harry Potter lineup. I have no complaints. There's a couple minifigures I would have liked to see included, but I understand why they didn't, or, you know, I understand they just didn't really have room, and they're not make-or-break characters. I mean, I would have loved Igor Karkaroff, I would have loved a couple other characters, maybe Fred and George, maybe something like that, but knowing who comes in next year's lineup, I really can't fault this too much. There's some great inclusions here, some really good characters, and it serves to expand upon last year's wave. You got all those sets and these sets, you're really set. There's some great stuff here, and I would definitely recommend picking up as many of these sets as you possibly can. I know you can still find a couple of on shelves. I guarantee you they're going to go up in value drastically after they retire, so please, if you see them, if you have a chance, pick them up. They're great sets, great characters, definitely worth your value. That's all I got for you guys today. Stay tuned for in the next couple of days. I should have 2020 up. But that was 2019, guys. Make sure to leave a comment which character is your favorite, and I'll see you in the very next video, and I want you all have a fantastic day.